welcome to the Living in Coastal Virginia YouTube channel. We are on most, if not all, the other platforms streaming. If this is your first time here, we do this usually every other week, sometimes every third, depending on if there are holidays and things like that going on. And we cover things like what's going on in the area, news that's going on in the area, what's a market update, a couple places to go out to eat. So you can kind of get your head wrapped around what does this area have to offer. And to start that off, Sean has us picked out something called the Dark Hollow by Blue Mountain Barrel House, a bourbon barrel-aged imperial stout. Now, he has not shown restraint and already started sipping on his. But we got here, I'll read you the descriptions. Dark Hollow, the mystery of great beer, challenges the spirit of adventure and all who seek a higher level of ancient brew. Dark Hollow blends the miracle of two crafts, brewing and distillation. That makes sense, right? To create the work of a greater sum of its parts, the Imperial Stout has been aged in charred American oak bourbon barrels, patiently breathing. I didn't know barrels could be patient. Patiently breathing and out of wood, gaining complexity, depth, and character. All right, so let's give this a little... Oh, that's nice. What you got, Sean?
That's really good.
If you're a stout fan, this is going to be right up your alley. Yeah, definitely good. I'm going to put it on the side. So that is our local libations of today. On our list of things, we've got two kind of news articles coming out that are really cool. I've got a couple of restaurants picked out for you, or I should say Sean picked out a couple of restaurants for us, two of which I have been to. So I'm hoping maybe you've been to the other one. Codex is the one, I think, to give people a little hint. I haven't been to that one yet, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've had it at a place.
Okay.
Not actually done the Codex.
Got it. Okay. And then a couple of events that are happening here in the next couple of weeks that you can check out if you're new to the area or even live in the area to check out. If you are watching today, we'd love to hear about where you're from. We've had people from YouTube as far as from Europe and California and all kinds of different places. Australia. Actually, that person was from Israel, grew up in Australia, and then eventually moved here. So interesting roundabout way to get here. But yeah, so let's go ahead and dive right into, I have my screen shared, right, Sean?
You do.
Cool. Virginia Beach was recognized in multiple areas in 2023. Number one would be Money Geek considers Virginia Beach the third safest large city with a $773 crime per capita. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah. But third safest, I can Neanderthal my way through that sentence pretty well. Much lower cost is the average of $2,200 per capita for most U.S. cities. Co-working Cafe named Virginia Beach the fourth best city for veterans and their families. Storage Cafe, which considered metrics as household income, divorce rate, amusement, and recreation per thousand. Cost of gas and more. Virginia Beach ranks the fifth largest city for newlyweds. Hey, Virginia's for lovers. Virginia Beach for new lovers. All right, there you go. U.S. News and World Report, Virginia Beach is the 30th best metro. I don't know if I really like that one. How many metros are there? Do we know? I'm going to say there's like 150.
Yeah.
All right. So we're in the top 25%. It's pretty good. That one doesn't sell us quite as well. Livability, Virginia Beach is one of the top 100 places to live with a population between 750,000 and 500,000. I think we're in the upper four somethings. We're like 470 or something along those lines. And that's just Virginia Beach. You have Chesapeake, Norfolk, and the other areas to live. Forbes, pretty highly recognized publication, includes Virginia Beach as amongst the top choices for high quality retirement living at an affordable price. Well, that affordability has definitely been affected over the last couple of years, both in pricing and with interest rates. But if you're retiring, maybe you're buying in cash and it doesn't matter as much, because if you compare us to places like Miami, New York, DC, Colorado, all these other potential areas you could, Florida, which I think their coastal insurance has nearly tripled this last year. This may be a great place for you to check out. And then WaltHub, a personal finance company, considers Virginia Beach the fourth hardest working city based on 11 factors, such as work week hours, share of engaged workers, and average daily leisure time. All right, leisure, can't discount that. Fifth best city for persons with disabilities based on 33 factors. 15th best city for first-time homebuyers based on 22. 19th best city to raise a family. 22nd best run with third highest ranking for quality of city services. I would agree. I have now this is just my subjective opinion. Sean's lived here for basically his entire life. I've now been here for a little over 20 years, and I didn't just stay because I built a community. In general, other than the cold days of winter and the crazy hot days of summer, I really enjoy this area and what it has to offer, and I feel like it's gotten nothing but better over the time that I've lived here. Things to do, places to go eat, that type of thing. Big news coming to Virginia Beach, in Virginia in general. Youngkin is proposing eliminating the car tax in Virginia. Democrats say the money could go to fund schools. That's pretty amazing. So for those who hate paying taxes on your vehicles, I don't like paying any taxes, but that, something's got to happen. That's looking at potentially going away. So Youngkin is challenging the Virginia Assembly to get rid of the state's property tax on cars and other motor vehicles. It's by far the most hated tax and maybe the most hated element of living in the Commonwealth. I would agree. Everywhere I go, I constantly hear, please get rid of this car tax. Yeah. I will put another voice into that mix. Please get rid of the car tax. I don't like it. Even though now, for those who didn't know, I was previously driving a Rivian, which is a bougie white person's truck. Love the truck. Ton of fun. Super cool technology-wise. Stupid fast.
Electric car.
Surprisingly, I did not get a speeding ticket, because it was very difficult to keep your foot out of the right skinny pedal. But unfortunately, got in an accident and it got totaled. So I am back down to our 2007 used Camry Hybrid, of which I have such a heart for old used cars because paid off, low insurance, low maintenance, decent.
If it gets a nick?
I can, accelerate everywhere, and the worst gas mileage I get is like 31 miles a gallon. So it's pretty fantastic. If you are a local, we're going to switch over into somewhere to eat. So if you're a local or if you're visiting in the area, whether that's vacation or maybe even if you're going to come in and check out some neighborhoods to move here and need a place to go eat, we have a couple picked out for you. Hair of the Dog Eatery. All right. So this one I actually have right around the corner from myself. I've been here probably twice. Let me go over here to the menu. Grab the ODU menu here. The sticky chicken waffle cone. I am a sucker for chicken and waffles, the sweet, savory mix. And then if you add in a little hot sauce, that really hits. Matter of fact, like recently, Sean, I've been big into not deviled eggs, but just boiled eggs. So we go to, wherever we're getting our groceries, Costco or, Harris Teeter or something like that. And you can get, a dozen and a half eggs for like $5-6 now. Maybe that wasn't true 2 years. Was it 2 years ago when we had like the egg crisis, whenever that was happening?
Yeah, maybe a year ago.
It was ridiculous. The eggs were like 3 or 4 times their cost. Anyway, they're back down. And I think I picked up 2 dozen and a half eggs for like $5.19. And we boiled them all. My go-to snack right now is 3 boiled eggs cut in half with just a big old dollop of sriracha on that. Maybe a sprinkle of salt. And it's delicious. It's really filling. That and some milk. So I saw deviled eggs and that hit right there. Let's see here. What else have I had? I have had where is it at? The Hangover. I've had that right there. Not because I had a hangover, but because it just sounded really tasty. I'm a lover of the fried chicken biscuit. You had anything on here, Sean?
I think the chicken and waffles are what I had.
Okay. Let's see here. Anything else? I've had the carnivore omelet. So anytime I'm looking for something healthy on the menu and I want to just kind of get some good,
it's a good breakfast spot. That's why I like to do a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. So this
would be a great breakfast spot to go.
Before the ODU game, hit this.
If it's an ODU game, you may want to get reservations. I don't know if they take them, but places like this that are really close to the stadium tend to fill up really quickly. A lunch spot / dinner spot would be Kogan's. Kogan's is kind of, I wouldn't use the word premier, but I would say it is like one of the classic pizza places here locally. There's 2 locations, one down there in Ghent and one here in North Collie. That's right around the corner from me. Decent wings, great pizza, great environment, great place to go. I think the last time Bradley and I, there was a comedian that was playing up there at the Ted Constant Center. We stopped by Kogan's to grab a bite to eat before we walked down and went to go listen to the comedian, which is fantastic. This last one is Codex. So this is more of the little higher end location. I have a couple of people that are in our close community that have recommended me to go to this several times. I have not done it, so this obviously needs to hit up my list. Let's go ahead and see what I need to be ordering on that. So I doubt that it will be the tart, but I can nearly guarantee Rachel's going to go with some pimento cheese. I probably will get the oysters. If you don't know anything about this area, we are known for our oysters, not just here, but like nationally. We have great oysters. I'm a big fan of the roasted cauliflower. It may sound something silly, and then Brussels sprouts. Those are like my two favorite vegetables right there. Russet carrots also sounds really good. All right, I'm just gonna eat all of that right there. Penicillin's one of my favorite drinks, so that probably will make its way onto that list. And then I also love old fashioned, so that might make it on there as well. All right, well, there you go. So there's 3 recommendations for food. When it comes to things to do, like I said, this area has plenty. Hampton Roads is pretty big. So if you live, let's just say, a little more centrally, say Norfolk, getting up to Williamsburg or going to South Virginia Beach, that's really going to be the farthest that you're going to travel. Depending on traffic, that could be anywhere to 45, I would say up to 45 minutes. But if there is traffic, it could be an hour. But that being said, compared to other metros, not that bad in comparison to other major markets. Now, I can't say that I've ever been to a jazz or blues fest. Can't say something that would ever probably make it onto my calendar. But I have been known to, on occasion, when I'm feeling like I need to mix up the music, I'll go onto Spotify and listen to some jazz. Or if I don't really do it very often, but if I'm trolling through the radio stations and jazz pops up, there's something about that late night easy voice that just is so pleasant to listen to. And next up, from 1942, we have the blah 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 blah, and the most recent rendition of the anyway. So we do have a jazz fest here this year. It's going to be, I believe, in the beautiful William and Mary Alumni House. You should make a day of it and go over there and check out maybe their campus of William and Mary, as well as go into what's that square called? Merchant Square. So head over there to the cheese shop. They have a really good candy store with a couple of great restaurants to go check out. Make a whole day of it to go over there. Next up, you've got the Botanical Watercolor Workshop. Now, I want to pause here because Botanical Gardens not only is one of the areas, if you see other stuff on our YouTube channel, is one of the places to definitely check out. Not just as a new person, but if you've lived here and not really given it a fair shake, Botanical Gardens is great. They have a ton of classes. The membership is pretty reasonable. They have dog days. They've got a water kind of area for kids to play in. It's beautiful. Every winter, they end up doing like holiday lights, and I believe it's in the top 5 in the nation, if I remember correctly, when it comes to size and beauty. Definitely give Botanical Gardens a try, even if it's just for a day pass. But if you are wanting to learn or even sharpen up those watercolor skills, you can go to Botanical Gardens, grab some inspiration there for $175 and go and do that between 9:15 and 12:30, sometime between January 9th and January 30th. Put that on your list. Maybe you have some New Year's resolutions to be more artistic. This would be a good opportunity to do that. Last up, we have the Hampton Roads International Auto Show. Now, this is something I probably actually will be going to myself because my son has made the request to go to a car show. And so we'll probably go over there. I did end up going to a local meetup when I had the Rivian just because it was kind of fun to go over there and people were checking it out. But this is fun. This is a great place to go see, some classic cars, some, tuned up cars, some of the more recent stuff. A lot of the dealerships also will bring in some of the things like the Bronco BR is the off-road version of the Bronco. Lots of those things will show up at this. This is going to be at the Virginia Beach Convention Center near the ocean front. You've got the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th. Make sure that you go in there and check out what's going to be happening those days because you definitely don't want to miss out on this. Again, this is something that you will see me at this next next weekend. So, all right, last up on list here is, all right, well, we are in January 8th here at the beginning of 2024. So happy new year. What does 2024 have in store for us? And I would say a little bit of more of the same, as well as maybe a few insights for you. So this right here is our market, median sales price, all the way back to 2004 to today. You can see there are a couple different sections here. We have this run up from 2004 to 2007. That was when If you ever watched The Big Short, that's kind of where that came from. It took us about 5 years to correct from the financing that should not have existed during that period of time. From 2012 to about 2019-ish, we had a very normal appreciating market between 3 and 5% every single year. And then right around March of 2020, you can see right there, we had much higher than average appreciation happen a year over year. And so you can see over this time span. Part of that is because during COVID, just to kind of give you again some further insights here. If I go over and look at active listings, I'll give this a second to load up. You'll see that right around March of 2020, we would typically see an increase of listings. Right, you can kind of see that pattern every single year, increasing, decrease based on seasonality. But because of COVID, we had a drastic reduction in listings. A lot of the people were not comfortable putting their house on the market for a variety of reasons. Some people thought it was the end of the world. Others thought it was a big hoax. Either case, we had a bunch of people that were not comfortable selling their home during this period of time. Well, the federal government came in and basically guaranteed the sale of those on the back end and lowered the interest rates or lowered the federal lending rate during that period of time. And so we have interest rates that are out there that are incredibly low. And so when you increase the opportunity to buy and you decrease what's available to purchase, you get housing appreciation like you've never seen before. And you can kind of see, well, it doesn't look quite, this last number is not correct. They need to update that. But you can see that we are at some all-time lows when it comes to inventory. And because so much of the marketplace has interest rates that are low, you have to understand that 40% of all homes that are owned by owner-occupied are paid off in cash, 40%. During that period of time between 2019 and 2021, most people refinanced. So something like 70%-ish, I could look at these numbers up, but 70-ish% of those people have interest rates that are below 4%. There's very little incentive other than expanding of families, divorces, things that cause you to move anyway. Those people that have those really low interest rates just don't have much incentive to put their house on the market to increase the inventory. So it's unlikely this is going to change anytime soon. Well, that's kind of the same. What's changing? Well, we've had Powell, who talks a lot like a politician, which means you say a whole lot of things, but that doesn't really mean anything. But if you listen to kind of his tonality and how he answers questions, his general optimism about the market has shifted a little bit. And they've basically said they don't plan to do any more interest rate hikes, and that there is potential for anywhere between 3 to 5 cuts this next year. Well, I can tell you a couple of things. One, just with that news in the market, the rate almost fell a full point, right? Nothing to do with federal lending rate actually being changed. But because optimism entered the market, the people who are actually out there lending dollars go, okay, we feel a little more confident about things moving forward. We're willing to charge less to borrow money. Okay. If rates continue to come down, that's a great thing as a borrower because affordability becomes more and more into play. However, because household formations are still continuing to happen, meaning the people that have the capacity that typically traditionally would become home buyers, there's still a lot of those happening. Millennials and Gen Z that are coming into the marketplace. As those interest rates lower, more and more buyers will be coming into the marketplace. With that being true, that is going to influence demand, making it more demand. So if it'll be a very interesting thing to see will inventory as rates come down keep up with the demand that's kind of pent up and is there? I don't think so. I think that if you thought that prices were going to come down, I don't see that happening, especially with a limited inventory market. Hey, if your market has balanced inventory or more inventory, maybe they could see some more stabilization. But I think for our area, it sounds a little pessimistic. If you thought this was the peak and the housing affordability or house prices were going to level off, it's very possible over the next couple of years that we could see still some above average appreciation. My prediction for 2024 could be wrong, somewhere in the range between 4 and 7%. And that could be true for 2025 as well if they continue to lower rates. So there's your market update for the Hampton Roads area, the Living Coastal Virginia YouTube channel. My name is Dan Inman with my host, Sean. Thank you for joining us. And until next time, we'll see you later.